Welcome, everyone. Okay, so this is for the August Energy Body Checkup. Hi, good to see you. Mary, you couldn't get enough of me, huh? Because like I said, I just did one for another group. So let's see, chat's open, good. So this will just be a little more casual. So, and if you have questions, you know, I will answer some of them at the end, okay? So, good. All right. Why don't we start with a little bit of breathing, but I kind of wanted to think about this, okay? So, what I wanted to think about is this beautiful collaborations that our bodies have and make every single day. And it's one of the themes that's coming up for me for July and August. And I'll talk a little bit about July too, because we can't go into August without really talking about the crumminess of July that we went through. So we still have a hangover from it, right? So, but I think the collaboration, supportiveness, kind of the intense care that we have for one another, and how to feel that within yourself, I think it's important, especially when you live alone. It's hard to feel the gentleness of you, because I think we look for the gentleness from others, you know. And if you can join me with a video, please do, okay? Because otherwise I am just having a conversation with Sharon, which is okay, but I have a lot of mirror neurons that I like to tap into. So if you can, I would appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. So I don't feel like I'm just like talking to a wall. The gentleness is what I want you to feel into, okay? Because we could use a little gentleness right about now, okay? So what I want you to imagine is that, let's say if you slammed one of your fingers, right fingers, let's say, index finger, between a door and the wall or something, you know, slammed it, and it hurts, okay? What happens in that moment is that your left hand comes over, right? And says, oh, that hurts, right? I mean, there's always this like a caring that is happening inside us. So I would love for you to just hold your right hand inside your left hand. And just close your eyes and experience that beautiful gentleness. Like, left hand isn't going to hold it and squeeze it tightly, because your right hand is hurting right now. Right? So it's very gentle, as if you're holding on to a little kitten, or maybe a little bird that got a little injured. You know, you wouldn't squish them. They're so light and gentle, and they're so delicate. So just hold and just breathe. And know that this is what your body is always doing for you. It's always trying to go into the areas of pain and struggles and suffering and chronic just exhaustion that you might be experiencing, frustrations. And then the other part of your body is going in there, just holding. And let's go ahead and switch the hand. So you're holding your left hand with your right hand. I mean, how beautiful is this? So many of us are isolated right now for good reasons, but it's taking a toll on us. And it's also this unknown that we're walking on, because we're in the liminal space of not knowing, the transitional state where you have left what is familiar but not yet arrived at a new destination. It's difficult because we don't know. We really don't know. We're going through the unknown. and unknowable. But know that you have the partner in you, the gentleness that is always coming to support you. And then go ahead and relax your hands. And then go ahead and slowly open your eyes. Let the light come inside. You know, just as the sun comes up, then the moon goes down, and then the moon comes up and the sun goes down, kind of, you know, sometimes there are beautiful days you get to see the sun and the moon at the same time, but there's an exchange that is always happening, and there's an exchange that it's happening within us. So whenever you feel the deep sense of loneliness, which I know what that feels like, and I think many of you are going through that too, know that you have a part of you that is always gently holding you. That's going to be very important as we move through this murky time, this very challenging time. And I want to start with July, and I want to be a little bit more interactive on the chat with everyone, because it's a smaller group, so it'd be easier to do it too. But July was tough. I mean, is it just me? July kicked my ass. Okay. Particularly the last 2 weeks or so, you know, maybe 10 days to 2 weeks. Holy cow. Okay. And some of you joined in from this other group that I just spoke to about an hour ago, and it might be some of it's a repeat, and it's okay. All right. But listen to it from a new set of ears and eyes and sensations. Okay. But it's like this old patterns unearthed, you know, just old cruddy things started to come up. Your insecurity, your sensitivity, your sense of not good enough. I really went through this areas of, I don't have enough. I'm not good enough. How can I? Like, how could I do this? You know, that kind of a thing. And, you know, I'm just going to share, I wasn't going to share this good news today with everyone. I thought, well, I'm going to hold it for a while, but I think it'll be okay. Is that I just got an email yesterday from the Shift Network, and they asked me to be on their Energy Medicine Summit that's going to air this November. So, yay! But I have to do so much crappy work before I can accept something like that in the last 2 weeks, just to tell you. So I'm going to repeat this again for some of you that have heard this already. It's okay. You fold the paper like this in half, okay? Draw a line and write down some of the patterns that you experienced in July on one side. And then maybe it was an event or something. And on the other side, write down some of the things that it reminded you of your old patterns that you have not addressed, things that you hadn't unearthed. And it was pretty crazy, because for me, it was this like my mother and my sister telling me that I was too small, I was too fat, I was too short, I was too kind, I was too popular, or I was, you know, like whatever, you know, you name it, right? I was too something. That really came out for me. And that the too much of whatever became not enough. It's such an interesting coin, isn't it? On one side it's too much, and on the other side it's too little. And it exists and it oscillates, you know. So that's what I was having to deal with. So it's important, everyone, that this is just the beginning of August. So I want you to spend some time writing down some of your old patterns that have come up, that had unearthed. And it's like a healing crisis we're going through, right? Herxheimer reactions is what we're having. We're having detox reactions because we are having to look at who we are. And this year, particularly in July, was that. But the unearthing that I didn't expect to do, I didn't want to do, it was on a subconscious level. I thought I moved on, and I hadn't. So just be prepared to do a little bit of work like that for the next, I would say maybe till about August 10th. That's going to be important for you to do. And on the back side of the paper, what I did was I did a declaration of I am statement. I am da-da-da. I am da-da-da. And I got rid of that paper because I don't need to hold on to that crud, right? So I did get rid of it in a ceremonial way. Okay. So it's no longer in my system. However, it was very important for me to unearth that. So to know that when you walk in this liminal space, you are going to be straddling between the past and the future, and you in the middle, okay? As well as you're in the midst of this unknown. And so be ready to dance with it, have steps with it, have lightness around the steps. Don't get too grounded, but don't lose sight of where you're going, okay? And I'm going to share this again sorry if some of you have heard this, but it happened this morning. It was fabulous. So this morning I went into this zone because I was asked to do another thing that was fantastic, but I had to deal with this particular really difficult situation that I'm in. So I have this great news and this difficult situation that I'm trying to balance. And I was in this difficult situation side of the thing and standing, and I'm looking at this beautiful opportunity that's coming my way. And there was this giant hole on the ground. I saw that in my mind's eye. And I thought, whoa, I'm supposed to leap over this. And where I went to, okay, what can I do to leap this? What can I do to get to the other side? And instantly I went to my old patterns, okay? My old pattern went to, this is so funny, okay? I closed my eyes and I was trying to leap, but my thighs got tired, my calves got tired. And I was starting to, in my head, was like doing a running, back and forth, try to psych myself up so that I can jump over this, right? And I thought, okay, I got to have a really good quads to do this. I better have a really good shoes. Okay. I have to have really good calves to jump over this huge hole, And that moment, I was like, what am I doing? I have wings. I can just spread my wings. Okay. And some of you know I've been receiving so many feathers. Every single day, I've been receiving 3 to 4 feathers. This morning, 2 more. Okay. So I imagine myself with rainbow feathers. That's my wings. And I just stood there, closed my eyes, and I lifted myself up. And I just gracefully went over this big hole. And I landed on the other side. Okay. I'm explaining this because we are trying to do the same thing, right? Banging head against the same solution, and it's not going to work. So for me, I'm a very imaginative person and I'm very intuitive. However, because I work with human bodies, their traumas in their bodies, their injuries, their illnesses, and then so I study a lot about science. And I'm very left brain also. So what I did was my initial reaction was, I have to figure this out logically. I have to do some study on this. I better get my muscles to be ready to jump. It was just I started cracking up at myself. And Chris, my husband, was actually sitting next to me, did not know what I was doing. And he's like, what's going on? I'm like, you won't believe what I'm trying to do to get over to the other side. And he's like, oh, that makes so much sense. That's what you do. But what I want you to notice is that I tend to go, my solution, okay, to a problem is always first 3 chakras. I go, okay, what can I do at my legs? Okay, what can I do to ground myself, right? What can I do to start moving through the hips? What can I get the flow moving? So am I pooping? Do I have a lymphatic system that is healthy? Should I be taking saunas more? Should I do dry brushing? I'm thinking all this stuff. And then I'm going into the 3rd chakra, which is center of my confidence and my knowing. But the knowing almost comes from am I digesting information right? Am I assimilating them okay? Am I taking in the right nutrients? Am I in touch with the right people? So head heavy. Okay. So I just realized that this is the chance, everyone. August is the chance. If you are like me, you need to get the wing power. Okay. you need to go to the 5th, 6th, 7th, and I recommend you go up to the 10th, 11th, 12th chakra and beyond. That's where you need to reach up. So I've been trying to reach towards the more of a cosmic level stuff. I'm trying to reach for the star systems. It feels really good. I don't know. You can tell. You can tell that I'm like excited. Iris, I bet you can tell. I bet Sharon, you can tell from my face. Like I'm like floating. Like I feel lighter. Okay. So that being said, some of us know how to go into the different dimensions. Some of us are so in the clouds. My husband is like that. Okay. He can tune into the spaceship level like anytime. He goes to the moon right away, to the Mars and in unknown planetary systems. He's so good with it. So for him, he's been working on trying to come back here. So he's actually doing like a 14-day metabolic reset program for himself, and he's working on it. He's trying to tell me, hey, I think my poop is better. You know, like I think I'm like shedding a little bit. He's talking little bit more about the physiological connections. And so we're kind of switching the roles right now. And so I would love for you to just pause and say, where do I get stuck? Okay. Where do I get stuck? Do I need to dance more? You know, like Ilka said, I did my 25-minute dancing today, moving my body. Yes, right? Is that what you need, right? Is that how you get out of this rut that we're in? Because we are. Things are not moving very smoothly. The wheels need to get greased. We got to get WD-40 in there, non-toxic kind, and get the wheels moving, but it's pretty stuck, okay? All of us are feeling that because it's not a paved road that we're on. There's no map for where we're headed. So how do we move? And early on, I talked to Richard. Richard was on the other call. And I suggested to him, and then this might be something good for all of us to do. And I'm going to use a different breath work to do this. But I reversed the breathing for him because he's currently stuck. And I hope, Richard, you don't mind. Just tell me if you mind. I'm using you as an example. But if you're okay, just wave. Okay, good. He's a little bit stuck in terms of where he's living, in terms of his housing situations, in terms of, his basic needs of the Maslow's pyramid has been a little bit rocky right now, right? Just like many of us are feeling. Because eviction rates are going off, unemployment is not going through right now yet. I don't know if the Congress has decided yet. I mean, there's so much unknown, right? So what I suggested to Richard is that we've got to change the patterns in us. So let's start with the breathing. Okay. So, we've done the Bastrika breathing, which is the bellows breath, right? When you reach up, you inhale, and then you come down, you exhale. I want you to do that 5 times, everyone. So inhale, reach, exhale, down. Inhale, reach, exhale, down. Okay, so inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Right? Do about 5 of those, right? And then after that, okay, so come back in. I want you to reverse it because we're gonna tell the universe that we need to switch things around. We need to change the patterns that we're living in. Okay, so as you reach, you're gonna exhale. And as you come back in, you're going to inhale. Ready? So exhale, inhale. Oh, that's difficult. Oh my gosh, I went back to my normal, the other one. Okay, ready? So exhale up, inhale in. Exhale up, inhale in. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. One more. Oh my gosh, I just flipped it again. That was literally hard for me because I do this breathing every single day. My brain almost kind of went scrambled. I got to scramble eggs in my brain. Okay. Another one that we're going to do, okay, is a sitting cow and cat. Okay. So as you reach, okay, so think of a cow and cat. usually you would inhale, right? Because the chest opens. And then when you come in, usually you exhale, correct? But you're going to reverse that. And let's add the arms. So inhale is usually this way, right? And then exhale, right? Let's do that natural. This is natural. Inhale, reach, exhale. Okay. But you are going to exhale when you reach this time. Ready? Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Inhale. Let's do 2 more on your own. And slowly come back. Okay. That was difficult for me. And then I love the, I don't think you're John Williams. You're the, tell me the name. It's not John Williams. I unmuted you. Oh, you muted. You're mute.
It's Lisa.
Lisa, that's right. So Lisa, did you notice you just yawned? Like big time yawn that you just had? Okay, that's good. Yawning is fantastic because it's circuits are changing. Circuits are changing, all right? So when you start to feel like you're stuck, reverse your breaths, okay? We'll do one more, okay? So usually when you inhale, right? Thank you, Lisa, for coming on. Okay, yeah, all right. So when you inhale, right, you want to go into the chest and down to the belly, and your belly will come out a little bit, and then exhale, you pull in, right? Right, Sharon, you just yawned too, I think. Awesome. We're going to reverse that. So as you inhale, you place both hands a little bit lower than your belly button and press in. Okay. Then as you inhale, okay, you're going to push that belly out towards your hands. So it's the opposite. Okay. As you inhale, let the belly come in. As you exhale, you're going to push. Okay. And then do that a little more, a couple more times. So inhale, your belly comes in. And then you exhale, you push the belly out. Okay, so now while you're doing this, I want you to think about the patterns that you're stuck in. What is your old narratives? What are some of the old stories you're still playing out in your mind? I don't have enough. I don't have the finance. I'm not with the right person. My living situation isn't great. I can't stand the president. Whatever, fill the blank. All right. Well, whatever. Okay. Just, I wish it would stop raining, whatever that may be. Okay. Old narratives. And see if you could just think about that old narratives while you're doing this breath. The point I'm trying to make is you can't think about it when you're doing this. It's very difficult to think your old narratives. And then if you felt dizzy doing that Bastrika breathing, which was the arms, okay, that means your inhales and your exhales have been restricted for a long time. And you're crack opening the intercostals, and you might have done it too fast. So slow it down, okay? It's your brain way of saying, I'm not getting enough oxygen. Okay, so now you can stop that breathing and then go back to you're kind of comfortable, which is belly comes out, belly comes in as you inhale and then exhale. All right? So the dizziness, if any of you felt, it's not good or bad. It just means there's something trying to shift and recalibrate because maybe your breath wasn't deep enough, okay, in the situations that you've been in for so long. So I call it the signature breath, everyone. Everybody's got a signature breath. Everyone. And everyone gets stuck in our own signature breath. Not the signature breath is bad because signature breath is almost like your fingerprints, okay? Your own unique fingerprints. But you've got to change your signature breath a little bit let's renew this. This is what I said in July. I said in July, this is the new beginning of 2020. It wasn't January. Actually, it was July. So you want to revisit your goals. You want to rewrite your goals. You want to create a new vision for your future. Okay. And this is the time to play with your breath. That's why I've been teaching so many breath work right now, because I need you to start changing the way you breathe. If you want to have changes in your life, you've got to change the way you breathe, because it reflects back onto who you are. If you're stuck in the same situation, you can't seem to get away from it, and old cruddy stuff is coming back to you, okay? You've got to change the way you breathe, because breath is the quickest channel between the spirits and your soul, okay? Your spirit and soul is connected by the breath, okay? That's how you inspire your spirit and your soul to come together and have a dance, okay? So start there, everyone, okay? Yeah, and then I'll come back to some of these comments, okay, while I'm focusing on sharing, okay? So let's go over a couple of the things that I wanted to go over with the August. This is intense, okay? So the intensity is a little bit of a residual from July. Especially the last 10 days of July was pretty difficult for most of us. It felt like walking through a muddy road almost, okay? Or like walking up the sand dunes. I don't know if you've ever walked up the sand dunes, but it's like 3 steps up and you slide 2 steps back down. You know, you do move forward, but it's a very slow progression. And then your shoes are full of sand and it's not comfortable, even though it's glorious. Okay, sand dunes are beautiful, but it can be very challenging. That's kind of what was happening in July. August will open up a little bit more, but it's going to take probably the first 10 to 12 days for that opening to start happening. But it's still in the territory of unknown, okay, and unknowable. So this is the chance, okay, until about the 10th or the 12th of August, I want you to really work on the muscles of I'm okay that I don't know, okay? In this other group that I was on about an hour ago, we all opened up the lines and said, I don't know and I don't care. We all said that, okay? So you might want to write it down, maybe even say it right now to yourself. I don't know and I don't care. That's the muscle that you want to work on. That's the grit, right? That's the stamina that we need. That is the endurance that is going to carry you forward. It's that I don't know and it doesn't matter, okay? Because I will get through this, okay? So that's what I would love for you to just stay in touch with, is that we don't know, because we're still in the initiation phase of the liminal stage, right? Where we're figuring it out. We're confused. We can't bring things together yet. There are many pieces that they don't fit together. And I also heard the word when I was writing this down. How it works is I kind of sit with it and I focus on my August focus. And then it's not clear like August 1st. It's not like that for me. It's generally the first couple days, and couple days prior to August is when I started to feel a lot of stuff. One of the words that came to me was contradictions. We're going to probably see a lot of contradictory things, and we're going to experience a lot of paradoxes, okay? Things that seemingly don't go together. And it was so interesting because this morning I was listening to an NPR or something, and then I think it was President Trump that said, you know, I will make sure that everybody's taken care of so they don't get evicted. And I thought, did I hear that from him? You know, so that was like a little bit surprising for me. And it was like, whoa, wait a minute. I need to just pull back, allow that message to seep in. And I thought, okay, this is interesting. I'm going to chew on it. I welcome it. So it threw me off a little bit, I have to say. However, it settled really well with me towards the end. Okay. So you might start to notice things are like, what? That doesn't make sense. Or what? It's coming from somebody like that? Or that was surprising. So some contradictions may start to happen. Okay. And that's okay, because that's the liminal space that we're in. It's unknown, it's confusing, it's unpredictable and contradictory, and it's paradoxical. Okay, so there's a paradox that's happening, right, left, right, left. It's very different. So it's okay if you change your mind in August. Okay, don't say to yourself, well, I'm going to stick with this and this is all I'm going to do. No, challenge yourself. Like I said, change your breathing, right? If you're only connected to first three chakras, not only, but I tend to go there, go into the different realm. Like do things that are just like, ooh, this is not my real comfort zone. Go into that, okay? Because it's no longer about is it comfortable or not, but is it interesting? Is it intriguing? Do you have a curiosity about it? Then go into it. So I would recommend maybe even reading things that you normally wouldn't read, okay? So if you're always about reading a particular topic, okay? So I'm saying this to me. I do read a lot of science, medical journals and science studies, okay? I do a lot of that. But I'm actually picking up poetry books, and then I'm picking up like novels, okay? And things that are just not in my normal zone. Okay, so that's what I would recommend. So you could straddle in two different worlds, because that's what's asked of you. The world that we're going into is no longer about stuck in the same way. Okay, but it's about can I remain curious like a little child? Can I remain curious about this situation and be interested in things? Okay. And so they bring curiosity and inspiration at the same time. And the new narratives look for the new narratives that is in alignment with your soul. Okay. That is in alignment with your soul. So the new narratives, try not to get stuck in a new narratives that is in alignment with your financial needs only, or your new narratives that are only in alignment with what you want in your relationships. But try to find a new narratives that is in alignment with your soul. Okay. That's going to require you to quiet down. That's going to require you to go inward a little bit more. Okay. All right. Yeah. Richard, I'm definitely doing that. He wrote a poem. So I'm planning on sharing that actually next Tuesday's session. So, all right. And then, let's see, I wanted to talk a couple more things. And I wanted to bring up the swimming analogy too that came to me. It's like, I was just like, why am I thinking about swimming? But I asked my husband, who's a swimmer. So, but let me talk a little bit more about the unearthing and cleaning the shadow side of you. And the shadow side of you, the quickest way to get in touch with your shadow side is to learn a little bit about archetypes. Okay. So whether it's, Jungian archetypes or some other archetypes like Carolyn Mace's archetypal work, as well as so many different, teachers have archetypal work. But it's good to look at what is your shadow side of the archetype. And for some of you, this is a little bit of repeat, but the archetype that has been coming to me and it really pushed its way through towards the end of July was prostitute for me. And when I say the word prostitute as an archetype, people are like, oh my God, I don't have that. But the fact is, everybody's got the prostitute in us, okay? What it just means is that you have something that you give away, okay? You have something that you give away in order to gain something back, okay? But sometimes the giving away part is taken away, okay? Or unwillingly giving away, grudgingly giving away, right? Or your boundaries are so not formed in a healthy way that you're just spilling out, okay? And that's kind of what happened to me, is that I had no boundaries around this situation that I was in, because I became the archetype of prostitute who was giving and sharing and doing so much. And it came from the shadow part of, I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I am not enough. Therefore, I must give and share and present myself and be as vulnerable and naked as possible. And all of a sudden, several weeks into this, I became extremely nervous around this situation. The vulnerability turned into quite the discomfort. And I tried to address this before it became a resentment and it really became a difficult situation that I put myself in. Okay. It changed the course of my life, to be honest with you. Like, it's really dramatically changed, and I'm okay with it, because I realized how much of that I am not enough had fed me to go there. So I would love for you to kind of think about what are some of the areas that you need to clean out, that is your shadow archetypes. And it could be, so I was talking to one of my clients, and then she said yesterday that I said to her, I said, your teacher archetype really came through. And she said, I know, I don't know what to do, because she said, I'm getting so passionate about health and wellness, because she's been working with me for a long time, like over about 4 years. So she's very knowledgeable. So she's getting super passionate that she's like shoving the information down people's throat. Okay. Piling it up on their plates. And so the teacher archetypes can become overwhelming. And it can be like, whoa, we're not assessing how much the students are willing to learn, or are they even your student? Okay. I've done this many years ago. It's like, they don't even want to hear from me about wellness and health, but then I'm shoving the information at them. Like a grocery store checkup. Like, they didn't ask for it, but I'm talking to them, right? Because I was so passionate about this, right? So think about the archetypes of the shadow and the light side and see what archetypes are coming up for you. All right. I think I would say for Chris, I think hermit started to come out quite a bit. He's a hermit. Okay. He's definitely a hermit. And so he just kind of goes inward and inward and inward, and he just stops really even talking to me. So I have to like remind him that he still is married and I'm here. Okay. So it's good to go inward, but if it goes too much, you can go into complete isolation, right? So just think of ways that possibly some of your archetypes are impacting you. Okay. So I recommend Googling some archetypes. Don't make it too difficult, maybe 12 or 14. I mean, some of them have a lot more than that, but connect with something that speaks to you. All right. So that the prostitute, I'm coming back to the prostitute one more time because it's worth speaking about, is I want you to think about, do you have healthy boundaries? And do you need to attend to that boundaries? And I'm thinking about like fences, right? Just because you put up a fence around your house doesn't mean that you never have to replace the board on it, right? Doesn't mean the wind won't blow that over, right? And you may need to reassess. I had a neighbor that they decided to check the property line and ended up in the wrong spot. Okay, so their fence wasn't in the right spot, kind of a thing. So it can change, right? So be flexible, but know where you stand. So because we're all giving away part of who we are, so that the enrichment of the universe and this earth. Okay. But there's a joy in that. And there's part of you that you may need to say, okay, I need to pull back from that. Or you might say, I've been pulling back way too much and it's time for me to come out. So one of my best friends has been pulling back so much for the last 3 years, and now he's coming out, right? So I just would love to kind of have you be more mobile with it, okay? Don't get rigid with it, but think about what's the shadow side of my archetypes, okay? Yeah. And let me just go to maybe some of the questions might be coming up. So Iris, my prostitute shadow was taking over when I was working crazy, stressful hours at the restaurant and sacrificing my time and ability to pursue my creative dreams. Exactly. And so, having not able to work, being not able to work at the restaurant has given you the chance to study what you want to study. And Iris has been studying very interesting things. So I know she's going to come out and share about this at some point with all of us. And then Ilka said, I just did last week, let go of one of my courses that I've been trying to make happen, but it wasn't. So asked God to guide me for this, and he did. Yeah, I will relieve and more time operated for me to do the other stuff that I'm passionate about. Yeah, right? I'm prostitute too, struggling with the not enoughness. Welcome to the prostitute club, everyone. Holy crap, that's been the hardest archetype for me. It's how much to show up from what I'm here to shine as, and how much to pull back and not get completely taken advantage of. Because I think the prostitute archetype, if you don't manage it well, the vampires come in. You know what I mean? Okay, the nighttime vampires start to come in and they will suck you dry. But you can't just point fingers at the vampires. Vampires just saw the opportunity, right? So see how you can work with that. Okay. And Joanne said, ready for a nap at this point after the breathing, I think. Truly in the liminal. Just sold my house. Yes, I've been wanting to ask you, Joanne. Good for you. Okay, very quickly, and only had 4 weeks to pack and then move. And until this week, didn't know where I would live. Found a temporary place, and then still in the I don't know, and taking it day by day. Ready for a nap after breathing exercises. I know. So if you felt dizzy or tired, that just tells you, everyone, okay, it's your body way of saying, listen, you are not taking deep and slow and very comfortable breath. You've been taking shallow breaths. That's all that means. And when you're in the fight or flight, you're trying to get your house sold and pack, right? And then, I mean, I'm sure many of you have moved, know how difficult packing is, right? Moving is one of the 5 stressors, top stressors of our human experiences. So when you're in that, you're in a fight or flight. When you're in a fight or flight, you'll be taking those shallow breaths at the upper lobes only. And your shoulders will tend to rise and fall without even you noticing it. So if you felt dizzy or yawning, that means your breathing had been stuck in that pattern. So do the patterns that I showed you, those 3 things, reverse them so that you're sending the universe different patterns to come towards you also. Okay. So that's, and then I will come back to the chats. Okay. Because I want to tell a couple more things. And let's see. So yeah, start to clean out your closets and your cupboards. And I noticed that I had like supplements that I bought 10 years ago stuck in my cupboards. I was like, what? It's like totally expired. Okay. So recycle, be done. Okay. Throw it away. So that's what I was doing. And then we know that we can't just go back to the good old days. I don't even know what that is. Okay. So let's just dismantle those thoughts, and let's just be open to the new possibilities that you are co-creating with the universe. August is the beginning of co-creation. You may not fully see what the co-creation looks like, but many of you will see what that vision is by November. Okay. But this is the co-creating month. So this is not codependency month. All right. So cross off the codependency. Okay. Co-create, meaning you have as much power as the universe. Okay. So I think there's a mistakes we make is that we think that the universe is more powerful than you are. Right. And so you tend to kind of ask for support, or maybe the greatness will come. The fact is, it's equally great. Okay, so walk on together, hand in hand, and co-create your new vision. So I would really recommend that you, if you've done the vision board in January or something, or maybe last December, I say look at it, but move on. Okay, and if some things need to be repeated, bring it in. Okay, but create a brand new vision board, because we need to create kind of a new way of looking at what your life you want to manifest. Okay. And it's coming, but you've got to co-create this time, not codependence. Okay. And that puts a lot of, it's not a pressure, but you can no longer blame other things or other people or a situation for you not moving into the full you. Okay. And this is where I wanted to kind of bring up a little bit about the swimming thing. So I was like sitting down with these and what I wanted to share with all of you. And then the swimming stuff came up. And I thought, why am I thinking about swimming? And that's when I realized that, oh, okay, it's like the river and or swimming pool is fine, but it's like, stop holding on to the edge. Stop holding on to that rock and just let the current take you with it. It's gentle. Don't worry. Don't worry. You have the tools to swim. And then don't get stuck in the murky part of the water that's just recirculating over and over and over and just slowly spinning you in the same spot. Push out. Use your feet and push out of that space. Okay. And so I asked my husband, who was a swim coach in college, and he's quite a good swimmer. And he is kind of like fish. I mean, maybe he will someday share his feet, but he seriously has a webbed toes. Okay. Like he's like a frog. And then so he has got like a, what do you call those? Doesn't matter, but like a giant feet that like he can really kick fast. You know, he's totally got the swimmer feet for it. And so I asked him, I said, I don't know why, but I need to share with the group qualities that we need to bring with us to work on in the month of August. And he said, these are the qualities you need. When I used to swim coach, these are the things I used to teach my students. And so I put some of my words into it, and then we came up with this list. So first is the strong extension. So the extension is like full range of who you are. Okay, full range of your motion. So right now, maybe you're swimming with the elbows a little bit slightly bent. Okay. No, I need the extension. Extend yourself a little bit to that point of slight discomfort. Because when you experience the discomfort, you actually learn. Okay. That's educational psychology for you. It's that when we experience a slight disequilibrium and discomfort, that's when our minds get scrambled. And that's when you get to shift your potential. So extend it a little bit more. For instance, I'm kind of trying to do that with neighbors too, with the distance and things like that too. But we have really wonderful neighbors that have like beautiful gardens, and they've been asking us to come over and pick some beets and kale and chard. And I just been kind of in July, just did not feel like doing any of that. I was in a pretty low place. I used the word depression probably 3 times every day. Once in the morning, once at midday, once when I was going to bed. So, so I just wasn't in a mood to go and pick vegetables, but I did. So it was 2 days ago. We went over and picked the beets that were like beautiful, like giant, and chards and onions. And I mean, it was just so amazing. So I know it's like a small thing to extend to that, but it might be that. Okay. It might be reaching just a little bit. All right. And the next one is, so the reach, it's extension, but the next one is good reach. So what he told me is the extension is important, but extend and follow through, right? I was a swimmer too also, so I know what he was talking about. But it's this extension, and then when you get that little more reach at the end, that's what determines whether you get the gold medal or silver medal, okay? It's literally that close, right? By the time you're an Olympic athlete, it's like a split second of difference. It's that little reach, okay? So extend your mind, extend the reach by reading different books, maybe dancing with the different songs, learn a new song, maybe learn to say hello in 3 other languages. I don't know, okay? Eat with your left hand if you're right hand dominant, but do the little more reach beyond that extension, okay? And that could be that I decided to reach out to the neighbors that gave us the vegetables and said, you know, hey, I made this dish and I would love for you to taste it because it came from your garden. So that's what I did, right? So it's that little more extra reach. Okay, so do something like that. Okay, and the next thing is a sturdy pull. So it's pulling the future self towards you. So have a future self as a vision and pull towards you. You need that because the current is kind of intense this month. So you got to stay with it. Stay with it. Okay. So you don't get sucked into it. Okay. And then, you know, feel like I can't even breathe by the end of August. So have a good reach. Okay. And have a good pull. Right. So work on that strength. And I'm going to come back to that sturdy pull at the end again. And mighty kick. So mighty kick is not only you get to reach for the future, but you get to move away from your old patterns. It's the kicking that gets you forward, right? Moving. And it's coordinated with your future vision, right? So get your kicks. And if that means you get up in the morning and literally do a barefoot standing and, you know, raising your calves and down and things like that, that would be fabulous too. Okay. But just imagine yourself kicking forward. Okay. And then full exhales. And this was really great. I wrote it down as breathing. You know, I put good breath or something like that first. And he said, no. Chris is like, no, it's not just breathing. He's like, it's exhales. You must be able to exhale to be a good swimmer, because inhale will naturally happen, but the exhale is the most important part. So I want you to just pause and think about, and then I'll check the chat too if you have, you know, added something. I want you to think about, what are you exhaling? More you can exhale, the more you can incorporate back into yourself. Okay. So see what you're not exhaling. What are you not getting rid of? What are some of the things that you're still holding on to? And I mentioned this a little bit on graceful aging, the workshop that I did, but it's this premature forgiveness. I want you to write those words down, okay? Premature forgiveness. I don't know why I came up with those two words, but it's basically premature forgiveness will age you. It will definitely make you look old and feel old and act old. So this is a great month to start to slowly think about, what are the premature forgiveness, which means you're still stuck. You still haven't figured it out. You are still trying to bypass the layers of the pain, the vulnerability, the woundedness, and the hurt that you feel when you address forgiveness. Okay. So it's prematurely attended to. We all have it. We all have premature forgiveness. So think about the areas that you've been trying to bypass. Okay. Yeah, it's taken me years to go through forgiveness towards my father. And I don't get as much now, the twinge of that, the anger, the twinge of that sensations. I don't get that much anymore. So I think I'm really moving through that, and I no longer have the premature forgiveness when it comes to my father. But you know, other things are showing up also. So just think about gently. Remember, we started this call with a gentleness. So don't do all this at once. Okay, don't do all this at once. Maybe you start working on the kicking away from the past patterns, and you focus on your exhales. Okay. You start working on maybe a little strokes, okay, to pull yourself forward towards your future vision, okay? And the last quality that he and I talked about, he said, eyes ahead. He said, eyes ahead. So I put the word steady. I put steady, eyes ahead. Good swimmers, he said, always knows where that goal is, where that wall is that they're trying to reach, so that they know they can flip it and come back, because they have to calculate when to flip and go back to the other side. Okay. And I said, really? So I guess I wasn't thinking about that as a swimmer. But he said, yes, your chin has to be slightly lifted and you have to be looking forward. So I want you to do this too in August. Look forward, look into the horizon, because there's unknown future that is coming towards you as you're approaching it. And both those energies are trying to come towards each other. We don't know exactly when we're going to get there, but keep your vision clear and eyes ahead. Okay. Don't keep looking back. Keep looking back and say, oh, I regret I said that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I could have done it differently. Stop. Okay. Stop. Because that will suck you dry. You know, those resentments and regrets are one of the lowest vibrational emotions. Okay. So those are some of the things I wanted to talk about. And the swimming is a full body movement, right? You incorporate breath and movements together. So don't rush into it. Okay. Like I said, maybe you start with your exhales only. Change your patterns of your breath a little bit. And then maybe you start to work on, how do I move away from the murkiness of the July that I carried into August? And how do I create a new vision board? Because like I said in July, create a new goal, because we're coming into the new 2020. Okay. This is kind of the new beginning. Okay. Let's see. I know I have so much more that I could say, but let me see, make sure I kind of addressed everything. Hangover is good. Yeah. Yeah. And we're all searching for new narratives, new story. You know, so many of us are hungry for that right now. We want new story than what's been playing out. But if you don't change your patterns, that new story, new narratives won't come into your life. So I say start there and know that the grace is with you. Grace is in you. Grace is within you. Grace is around you. Grace is reaching for you. So tap into that point of grace. I think grace is one of my favorite words in this English language. It's very difficult to translate that. You know, it's whether you feel it or not is basically what grace is. It's here. It's always here. It's like air we breathe is actually grace. We just don't know that. We don't think about it. So next time you feel stuck, just say, I'm breathing in grace. I'm breathing out grace. I'm breathing in grace. I'm breathing out grace. Okay. And I'm just, you know, I can't just be like, this is not going to be a really awesome, August is great kind of month. It's going to be challenging. I'm just going to tell you this, okay? It's an intense time. You will face challenges, however small or large. But remember that grace is with you and the future self is holding you, and you have strong kicks to move forward with this. Okay. And finding your own vision that is uniquely you. And for many of you, I suggest you find your voice also. Voice has been a big topic for the last several days since August started. I feel like many of us could use a little bit of vocal lesson even, okay? Just doing like ha, 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 or something like that, or sing out loud. So on the literal sense, I feel the fifth chakra is a little bit stuck. And I think it's a residual of George Floyd also, but also the fifth chakra for so many of us have been stuck and not allowed to be open. Okay. So think of ways that you can get voices to come out, but it's a very different sounds when you do the throat ahs. Okay. It's just like, that's just the throat. Okay. I'm going to bring that sound down to the second chakra and it'll sound differently. Hopefully even with the Zoom, it'll be like, that'll be coming from the second chakra. Okay. Fifth chakra will be, can you hear the difference? I hope so. So don't find your voice from the second chakra and bring that up through. And the second chakra is the center of your creativity, right? It's your sensuality. This is the area that you bite into the peaches and you taste it in your second chakra because you love that sweet life. Life is sweet. That's what I want you to feel and practice that through your voice. So whatever way you can get into singing, poetry, expression, humming, okay, any of that would be good. So what this means is that you may notice stiffening of the neck in August, okay? Some of you might be already experiencing that. It's stiff. Shoulder blades feel stiff, okay? And skeletally, like, so your bone structures may feel like out of alignment. So this month might be a good chance if you haven't visited your chiropractors in a long time, okay? Or you haven't had any kind of a body work. And if you could afford to do something like that, I would attend to that. There's an alignment that needs to happen, okay? And that alignment will certainly help you with your voice. And if you cannot go to a chiropractor or they're shut down, or, I mean, the chiropractors are essential workers, so they're generally open. But if you can't go to it, do some twisting, okay? Some twisting so the upper body goes to one direction, your legs go the other direction. So you're giving yourself a gentle twist to adjust, all right? Okay, so talked enough. I'm going to see if anybody wants to raise hand, and if you have questions while you're raising your hand, I'm going to go through this. Okay, but sat with the concept. Okay, so Jan, yeah. If you want to do the graceful aging, I really thought that workshop was fabulous. I know. I loved it. I really loved it. Okay, Deborah said, I've been purging last couple months, yes, in preparation for knowing that the change move is imminent from an increasingly unmanageable rental situation and no little work to return to in the field I was in. Yeah. 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 Hold on. Okay. Somebody unmuted. Okay. So hold on. I'll read this and I'll get to you. Okay. Perhaps the uncertainty will be an opportunity to leave the concrete city and into a more green nature environment that my soul longs for. Yes. And I was going to tell you, everyone, that the really bring in kind of the emerald green, okay, and even more forest green in August. Okay. So if you could do a nature walk, if you could look at the trees, like tree gazing, like stargazing, but you're going to tree gaze. And if you could lie down somewhere and just, right by an oak tree or something, or any kind of a maple tree or something, you just look at the green. That's going to be very, very helpful this month. It's grounding, but also very uplifting and nourishing. Okay. Yeah. And then let me go through to Melissa. Yeah, Sue says, we were made for this. Let's do it. You're right. You like we are so similar. Is it? I don't know, Melissa. Is it great? I don't know. So much alike. Okay, that has been the most meaningful call for me ever. Blessings. Okay, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Melissa, you wrote it to me privately. Let's clean house. Yes, you're right. So tight and sore. Yes, affecting alignment of hips. Telling you, got to get your alignment situated in August. I almost wanted people to start getting their alignment set up in June, but it just wasn't quite bad enough, if that makes sense. It wasn't bad enough, so I didn't suggest it. But August, you've got to get your alignment checked. And one of the greatest way to do that is also roll on a golf ball on the bottom of your feet and let the myofascia, so the plantar fasciitis, loosen up. Okay, so get a golf ball or like cat's toy, like a bouncy balls that are size of a golf ball, and roll on the myofascia. Okay, that really helps with the alignment. So I think Ilka, Iris, that will help. Okay. Yeah, Paraform is coming up a lot, huh? Roseanne too, slightly today for me, worked on it. It's fine now. And okay, so everyone, the piriformis and psoas, particularly psoas, is the muscle that holds on to your grudge and your anger. Okay. Iris is like, oh yes, I can think of about 3 people. All right. So psoas is one of those areas of the muscles that can be really extended and healed when you take deep breaths. And that reverse raising and exhaling, actually that really opens up the psoas when you reverse the breathing like I did. Okay. So that'll be a good thing to do. There's a lot of, psoas exercises you could do on the side of the bed by like lowering one leg down and allow the one hip to open up. That can be a really good psoas opening also. Okay. But I would definitely address the grudge. When I tune into you, Iris, I feel the word grudge. Okay. It's not a resentment yet, but it's a grudge. Okay. So it didn't turn into the resentment. So it's awesome. Okay. All right. And then piriformis is, I see this a lot when somebody has split going on between what the upper body wants to do and what the lower body wants to do. So what that means is that their vision and their goals might be set a certain way, but their motion and their actions are not taking them forward with in sync. So they're not in sync with what they want and feel that they're here to do, and their action can't follow. So Roseanne is shaking her head going, yes, yes. So, okay, I hit it. Okay, good. So the proverb that comes to me, and I hope I can remember, it's a Japanese proverb, so I should know this, but it's, let me see. Vision without action is a daydream. Okay. Action without vision is a nightmare. Okay. So vision without action is a daydream. But action without vision is a nightmare. So I think some of us who are feeling tightness in piriformis, okay, which is your glutes, okay, like the upper part of the gluteus muscles. And I used to call my clients, those are the tight ass clients. And I go, get your tight ass softened up. Okay. So there's certain things you are rigid about. And they're like certain things you're just really stubborn about. Okay. The stubbornness has led you to be successful and to learn and to do what you've done and to survive even up to this point. Okay. But that stubbornness is showing up on your piriformis as tightness. So loosen up a little bit. Okay. So that's, okay. Or was that hesitating to act? Yeah, action, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's why I think that you're having a split issues. Okay. So start to have a conversation with your lower body and upper body and say, what can we do today? What can we accomplish this week that the lower body feels comfortable moving into, while the upper body isn't just taking you ahead and dragging its body with it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Magnesium is helpful. Yes. I don't know what, but I'm reading from the bottom, so I'm not getting what that means. Okay. What will help me sleep? Magnesium. Sleep is one of those things. And Ilka, when I tune into you, magnesium helps, but you've got to clean up your diet. You're getting a little bit of sugar stuff coming back into your diet. And I would try to eat a little earlier at dinner, okay? But get that sugar out of your diet. You're having more of a blood sugar dysregulation with the sleep. And magnesium helps, but blood sugar regulation will help you even more. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right, Ilka gave me a thumbs up, so I think we're good. All right. And then John, oh, no, it's not John. Is it Sue? No, wait. Is it Sue? No, Lisa. It's Lisa. That's right, it's Lisa. Regular yoga classes are really helping me. Yes, good. become more flexible, improve breathing, open my hips, da, da, da. Okay, good, feel better. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention, everyone. August is the time to start incorporating aerobics. Okay, I have not talked about aerobics in so long. For those of you that love to do gentle stretches, whether even a little bit harder yoga classes, I recommend you actually do a little bit more aerobics that get your heart rate up, whether that's HIIT exercises, which is HIIT. It's high intensity interval training. Okay, that's what HIIT is, HIIT. Okay, those are great. And Lisa, when I tune into you, what I feel is that you could use a little bit of weights with squats. Okay, so that's what I want you to focus on, is to see if you could get a little bit more heart rate up and then using more weights. Okay, so it could be like one of those what is it called, cowbell things, you know, the bell work. I don't know, maybe some of you know what to call them. I have a 50-pound one, and you do squats with it, you know. Yeah, when I'm oh yeah, say barbells, or no, not barbells, it's kettlebell. Thank you, Deborah. It's a kettlebell. Yeah, and it looks like a bell, really, but it's heavy. And so I've been gradually moving up to different weight. So I just get one. Okay, I felt badly because I ordered it on Amazon, and the Amazon guy had to deliver it to my door. So, you know, I felt kind of badly that he had to carry that heavy thing, but that's a great one. So I want you to do a little bit of that. Okay, just a little bit of the weights. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay. Okay, Roseanne, yeah, I said my head and mind and heart wants to plow forward, but my body is hesitating, fatigue, yeah, apprehension, confidence, not knowledge or ability. Yeah, those are there. Yeah. That's why don't learn to swim overnight. Learn to kick first. Okay, learn to kick. That's it. And then while you're kicking, you start to exercise your breath. Okay, to see if you could exhale. Okay, all right. Yeah, so pain in my left heel, Pamela. I went straight to your knee alignment, and that takes me to the right hip. So, Pamela, I think there's something going on with your right hip being rotated a little bit forward. I think the zoom is opposite, so I'm going to do the opposite. I think it's mirrors it, I think. But so that your right hip is rotated a little bit forward. So what I would do is tonight, lie down on your right side of the bed and let your right leg hang over to the floor and stretch that frontal hip on the right side. And then incorporate the golf ball to roll on the bottom of the feet. Even though it's on your left heel issues, I want you to open your right hip. Okay, so hopefully that will help. Okay. And Rose said, hi from lovely Costa Rica. Oh, Costa Rica, yay! For your health, do you have any insights from my system? Well, I got to know a little bit more than that. Okay. So if you want to, oh, sorry, that was private. I read the private, I'm just reading. So if you wrote me privately, I'm just reading it. Okay, everyone. Bad headaches in night. Any ideas about that? Extreme pain. Yeah, man, those are tough. So I'm feeling the headaches when I tune into you. It's more like right in there. And if I'm wrong, just write it on there. But just like right there between my eyebrows, and I'm just kind of touching it. So often, let me see. So when I'm tuning into you, what I sense is that there's a liver detoxification that is sluggish. So I think, Catherine, what would help you? You say it's the back of the head. Okay. But I'm going to address it from here because I don't know why I'm feeling it here. And the back of the head and the front of the head has a very similar connections. But what I would love for you to do is to look for ways that you can really support your bile to flow. Okay. So I would get like a liver detox tea that has milk thistle in it, tinctures in it. I don't know why Parde Aqua came up, because that's not really liver oriented, but Pau de Arco, which I'll just write down here. It's a great, I think there's a little bit of a fungal overgrowth going on. Okay, so I wrote down Par de Arco. That's the tea that it's great for like fungus and yeast overgrowth. So I would do those two things. So fungus and yeast might be like mycotoxins are releasing toxic stuff, and then the liver might be needing to detox you. So use ways to support your liver detox, and then drink the Par de Arco tea together. Okay, and then I got a phone person that has a raised hand. There you go. The last number is 1351. Is this Linda?
Yep. Hi. Laura Jean.
You say Laura Jean?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Laura Jean, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, Pau de Arcos. Thank you, Richard. I knew you would know, Richard. Hi. What do you have any comments?
Hi. So I have a question, which is, first of all, I love your whole swimming analogy.
Oh, okay.
That was really great. I have been the last few days super dizzy, and then also just issues around like weight and clutter and with my daughter. And my I got back with some blood work, and my kidneys were like the value for your kidney function or whatever was super low. So just wondering advice.
Kidneys are all about the flow, right? Kidneys support your flow. So when you don't have the flow in your life, and then the clutter and then the stuckness, and you mentioned something about your daughter. Is it issues with your daughter? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a theme going on here. So kidneys are starting to be like, I'm so clogged up because the world is clogged up. All right. So it's just mirroring each other. With kidneys, the first thing that came to me was, it's not the cranberries, but it's actually, I would love for you to get unsweetened, concentrated black cherry, like a dark cherry juice, and put about a tablespoon in 4 ounces of water, and it's really tart. Okay. It's super tart, just so you know. So you can mix it in and drink that first thing in the morning, and then last thing at night.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to get that kidneys moving. And then you got to be you're too sedentary. So I would love for you to move more. Do you know what I mean? You're sedentary. Yeah. When I look into you, there's like a lot of sitting kind of a feeling, meaning just stagnant. So I would love for you to just make it your job in August that you go for a walk every single day, whether it's early in the morning or late at night. Okay. I mean, late at night, as in I'm an empath, so I don't do well walking when everybody's going for a walk. I just don't. I like it after the sun goes down and it's a little cooler and then less people are out. I put a reflector on myself and I go for a walk. Okay. So make the commitment with me, okay, that you will walk every single day. All right?
Okay.
Yeah, and your feet could start to hurt by doing so. But don't freak out, okay? Especially your left foot could start to hurt a little bit in the arches. But don't worry. Get the golf ball, roll on your feet, and you'll be okay. All right? So let's get you moving. Let's get you moving and do the dark cherry unsweetened concentrate. So it's really, really tart. That's what I want you to start drinking a little bit. Okay?
Okay, great. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for showing up today.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. So let's see. I will wrap up soon because I said this is 45 minutes call, and I'm keeping everybody hostage again for a long time. So Can you suggest something safe for energy, extreme fatigue, but get too hyper and dizzy with any caffeine, even chocolate? Okay. Yeah, I knew it. I didn't even go down to the caffeine, and I was already thinking, tell her to stop drinking caffeine. Okay. So first of all, Melissa, you've got to stop drinking caffeine. Okay. And when you feel hyper or dizziness from caffeine, means your liver is congested. Okay. That's just purely like classic sign. All right. So you've got to start to detox your liver. And in your case, obviously doing things like a liver detox tea, maybe bile support and things like that would be good. But in addition to that, eat things that are more bitter. So dandelion greens, arugula, those are things that are great too. And I do believe that, Melissa, you will benefit. You're one of those people that will benefit greatly from doing the castor oil packs. Okay, so castor oil, put the castor oil on your liver area and get yourself a good book and read for the next hour or so. Okay, that'll be a great thing to do. Okay, and you can look up how to use castor oil and things like that. All right, and then I have my castor oil listed on my resources page. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to wrap up soon with the advice, but Sue, I will read yours. Do you have any advice for acne always on the hollows of my cheeks? Okay, so skin issues, you always want to look at small intestine, and I get a yes on that. Is her large intestine? No, it's small intestine. I thought it was a large intestine in my mind, but when I tested, it's like small intestine. Okay, so you've got to look at how to heal the lining of your small intestine, right? Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so the first supplement that popped in my head, and I think it's great, things like even like marshmallow roots would be good too. But L-glutamine would be a good one. So I would get powdered L-glutamine and take about 3 grams, which will be about 1 teaspoon in the morning and at night, at the end of the night. Okay, do that for about 2 weeks so that your gut can start to heal. Okay, and heavy metals, no. Okay, copper, no. Zinc, oh, zinc. Okay, and I don't know, Sue, if you're taking zinc, but if you're not, you need to up it. And up it to about 50, 40. Okay, about 40 grams per day. I'm sorry, 40 milligrams. 40 grams will be like chugging it, with a bucket. So no, 40 milligrams. Okay, it's usually like 2 tablets. Okay, but don't take 40 grams at once. Take one in lunchtime and take one at dinner time or something like that. Okay, so spread it across. But zinc is a big one that came up. Yeah, I will up it. Okay, so do not drink it by the bucket. Okay, Sue. So those are a couple things. Okay, and give that L-glutamine a try. And do it for about 2 weeks on 3 grams twice a day. Okay, and then you can cut it in half. All right, and then what was I going to say? I had something else to say and I forgot. Oh, that's right. L-glutamine, Sue, is also got additional benefits because L-glutamine actually helps you with the growth hormone. Slipped. Human growth hormone. It helps with the production of human growth hormone. And we start to lose that as we get older, okay? And our youthfulness goes away. So I actually do take L-glutamine pretty consistently, not like every day, but I do take L-glutamine about like once, like 1 week on, 1 week off or something like that, but once a day. So that would be a good thing to do, okay? All right. Yeah. Oh, good. So Deborah said cherry lane, concentrate tart cherry juice. And oh, yeah. Okay, great, Deborah. That's it. That'll work. So get that. Okay. Okay, and then your itching was, Deborah said that her itching was related to my kidneys, apparently. Well, kidneys are the ones that cleaning out your blood all day long. So if your blood is unable to totally clean out, you know, it's going to come into your skin, right? Your skin is your largest organ. So, okay. So I think that's it. So basically, in summary, everyone, August is going to be little bit of the discomfort that you went through in July is going to still bleed over. Okay. It's still going to have a hangover. Okay. So this is the chance. The next 10 days or so is your chance. Maybe less than 10 days, 8 days is your chance to really work on some of your old patterns. What has shown up in the last several months? And what are the old things that you're still kind of comparing and going, wow, the subconscious stuff is still there. And you create a declaration on the back. I am this. Okay. I am that. Okay. Make those statements. Okay. So that's one. And then the swim, analogy, if you could remember to extend, right? Have the extension around your thinking. So it's a flexibility, but it's more than a flexibility. I hope you kind of get the nuance here. And then also have the little more reach with it. So go to the slight discomfort with it so that you can grow from this experience. And then sturdy pull, where you're pulling the future self towards you. Okay. And then the mighty kick. So kick yourself away from these old patterns because we're moving forward. Okay. You better get in the water because it's moving. It's moving fast towards the ocean. We all want to be in that river. Trust me on this. Okay. And do the full exhales. Okay. Work on your breathing. Get rid of things, whether that's your weight. Okay. That's your cupboards full of sugary stuff and packaged yucky stuff. Okay. Get rid of old thoughts that's no longer serving you because you've got to create new narratives. Okay. New vision is trying to come in. So exhale, exhale, exhale. Okay. And keeping the steady eyes ahead. Keep your focus. Don't lose sight of what it is that you are here to do on this earth. However short, however long, we're here. None of us know. None of us know. Okay. So just keep on going. And, I've said this before, but the only way out is through. Okay. So that's about it, everyone. I hope this was helpful. I think I'm going to start doing this every month as just like, as I tune in to the next month, I'll just come on like this and we can have this kind of a conversations. And I will not tell people that I'm going to do 45 minutes because obviously it's not 45 minutes. So sorry went long, but thank you. And I hope I was helpful in answering as much as I could.
Thank you, Masami.
Oh, you're welcome.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
On the shift.
Yeah, put the energy out there because I'm a little nervous, but that was a great email. I almost deleted that email last night. I thought it was like a spam because it said Dear Masami. I was like, who writes Dear Masami? So I was going to delete it, and I thought, what is this about? What is this summit about? So, yay! Awesome. Yes, thank you. All right, everyone. If you want to unmute yourself and let's everybody
Bye,
just
guys.
unmute, and then so we can say yes to August. Okay,
Yes to
August.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.